There was certainly a lot to criticize. It was a failure of government at every level. The scale of Hurricane Katrina overwhelmed the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA. They were not prepared for a crisis of that size and a dislocation of that many people. Emergency response in the United States is typically driven by states and localities first, with federal assistance coming in behind that. And you also had multiple levels of breakdown in the city of New Orleans and the state of Louisiana as well. And so the agencies were uncoordinated. FEMA had recently become part of the newly created Department of Homeland Security. And so the chain of command issues also came into play there as well. And so instructions would be given from Washington that would change on the ground. And then coordinating with local and state officials became almost impossible because of the corruption and troubles that they had within their own governments. And pardon the expression, but it was a perfect storm of government failure at all levels.
Yeah. I mean, as you make clear there, problems in terms of where the orders are coming from, who's taking the orders, the logistics, the processes. But it also was seen in our correspondent, just referred to it, President George W. Bush, flying over in Air Force One, not landing. And it was peculiar, wasn't it? Because we thought back to 9/11, we see George W. Bush with a bullhorn addressing the firefighters. This was a man who got the crises when it comes to the public relations, and he lost the touch when it came to Katrina. What happened?
Well, I think it was, again, a breakdown at all levels. And in that particular case, the pilots were instructed not to come in. It would have been more of a complication to bring the airplane in than to land. I think in retrospect, it would have been better just to figure out how to get that plane on the ground there. So he could have been the commander-in-chief, the trusted face of the government on the ground. So I think everyone regrets not having done that. Whether or not it would have helped is another matter. I think like I said earlier, the scale of the devastation was so strong that every pre-planned intervention and response was inadequate to the scale of the storm. You know, over the years, about $71 billion have flown in to New Orleans from the federal government. And even though, as your correspondent reported, the recovery has been uneven, there is something of a miraculous rebirth that's happened in New Orleans.
Ryan, we'll get onto that, but I just want to finish